You're now tuned into pSyk's weekly Nerf dosage.
Hey, what's up, good people? Welcome to episode 123 of pwned. Hold on. Let me just get there. Hope this helps and makes the video a bit easier to look at. Big ups to Justin from Make Test Battle because he actually told me, I think you could do a bit, with some better lighting. So here we go. I got myself a ring light and it's shining at my face, and I hope that even if I wear my cap this way, it'll be a bit brighter for you guys, I guess. Anyway, so this episode is all about the shotgun pump grip, or I would say the Apollo kits. Kits as in plural, on eBay from Avery that I actually spoke to on Nerf Models Welcome. He also goes by Custom 3D Nerf, and this is what the completed kit looks like. It doesn't come with this sticker over here. I put this on myself, but that's like a story for later. Alright, it's a shotgun pump grip that you friction fit on, and of course you have to screw one slot over here, so just drill one hole, but everything else is friction fit on to your Apollo, and it just makes the Apollo complete. To me, it makes perfect sense. This is really good product. It's really great. Aesthetically, it looks really good. There could be some, like slight improvements, but I'll get to that later. First of all, I want to share with you guys the installation process, so here we go. This is what the kit comes with. The barrel, the pump, a pair of nuts and bolts, one big, one small, and the stock attachment. Now grab your Apollo blaster and the barrel, and it's been assembled. You guys can see the glue work, it's all done already. Here's a little bit more detail of the barrel from the back. So pay attention to this groove, and that's where the top rail slides into. And everything is just friction fit for now. Slap it in a couple of times to make sure that it's sitting all the way to the back. Then grab the smaller nut and bolt and secure it into place, and this goes into the last slot of the rail. Tighten it down first by hand, and then get a pair of pliers and an Allen key and finish up the job. Now grab the pump, and you can see the nice custom 3D Nerf embossed logo in it, and then some of the details over here on the grip. And this aluminum bracket has already been cut out with slots already screwed in. So what you want to do is slide it onto the barrel. So you have to take measurement for a place on the priming arm where you got to drill a hole, and I'm making that mark by using a screwdriver and just making a very light dent on it. Pretty sure you guys can see it. It's a very small dent, but it's good enough. Then go ahead and drill a hole where you made the mark. Then line up the aluminum bracket again with the hole, then screw in the bigger bolt. Then grab the bigger nut, and I replaced it with a self-locking nut because I didn't want it slipping out, and tighten it down. Once done, it should look like this. And then of course go ahead and test out your pump. Next, grab the stock, and here's a little bit more details of the stock itself, and there's a back. It's a little bit rough, but I'll talk about it later. And you can see some black marks in the corner, and I'll talk about those later as well. But here's a little bit of a scuff. I should say like a scuff, but we'll get rid of it by covering it up with some fabric tape that I got from Daiso for really cheap. And I'll tell you guys more about this whole thing later on. But just fit it onto place and slap it in a couple of times, and you are done with the stock attachment. Ta-da! Welcome back. Now I'm going to give you guys a firing demonstration to show you guys how wonderful this kit is. Now please take note that y'all remember when I first made the Apollo mod, I think I was in fact the first to do it, the return spring mod. I left it there because I didn't want to open up my blaster at all. So this pump arm will retract back I think about 3/4 of the way, just because of the spring. Alright, so here we go. I have this clip that I've loaded up with the 7 balls already, and I'm just gonna fire off all 7 into this corner over here, and you guys can see how effective this thing is instead of having to always go like this, Alright, so here we go. All out 7, and you can tell it's really loud. That's because the 3D printed parts are rubbing against each other. We can actually see a little bit of it happening over here. I think that if you lightly sand everything down, it might be a bit better. I don't know. But I did not mention in the installation video that there are a total of 3 rails on this thing. One up here, so you can attach whatever you want. These are all Nerf compatible rails, and one on either side of the pump. So you could put stuff like, you know, laser painters or whatever you want. Yeah, apart from that, it doesn't even affect the performance of your Apollo whatsoever. You can just remove this completely, and it's technically a reversible mod. So all you have left is a little slot on the prime arm. Okay, and I mentioned also that I would share with you guys a little bit more about the stock. What happened was Avery shipped everything to me, like packed together in a box, and I think due to shipping, the stock got cracked. So it was like cracked open in this corner over here, and I was a bit disappointed, and I shared it with him, and he said you know, he actually offered, it was really kind, he offered to send me another one, and I said no, because he actually gave me this was a gift from him, and I really thank him a lot. I didn't want to trouble him because these cost money to actually produce, so I don't want him to do that. I said, is there any way I could repair it besides using super glue? He said you know, he recommended that I go heat it up a little bit so that the plastic is a bit more, or the filament is a bit more easier to work with. I went ahead and I did that, and I super glued everything down. But there was a huge ugly crack, and because of the heat, it was a bit warped. So what I did was, you guys already saw, I just taped it around, and I think it looks awesome right now. The downside to doing that, I cannot, you know, I cannot tell you that this happens all the time, but because I actually had mine warped and, you know, super glued back in place, right now when I put on and take off the stock, it scratches off the paint on the back of the rival blaster over here, or the Apollo over here. So I guess I'll try to show you guys. So it's I gotta really slowly try and wiggle it out, and just slowly do this for you guys. There we go. So you guys can actually see quite a lot of black marks over here that's caused by the paint, and you can see that the paint has been scraped off in the corner, bottom over here, the corner, the sides, and everything. So that's one of the major downsides to this. I don't know if it happens if yours is completely fine, it's not cracked, but this is what happens to mine. And only one thing is that it's really tight now. It's a really snug friction fit. Just gotta knock it into place like that, and then, you know, it's good to go. But this is really comfortable. It really completes the, you know, the Apollo. And he did recommend that if you get the pump, you should go ahead and get this, because the square back doesn't really sit well on your shoulder. So this makes it really comfortable. Honestly though, it makes sense. Now, the kit that I bought was the kit that came with all the hardware, and that's really important, because here in Singapore it's very difficult to get stuff like this, singular pieces like this aluminum bracket, you know, all these nuts and bolts. It's not easy. You have to go around and kind of source for everything. I believe that there's also another like aluminum or metal bar that runs inside over here, just to keep everything sturdy and locked in place. And he already installed everything, so there's a bit of glue and stuff like that. Yeah, it's not the most perfect glue work, as you guys can see. You can see some glue residue, but you know, it serves its purpose. Especially if you guys are going to paint over it, then it'll be absolutely fine. But yeah, I was willing to go ahead and fork out the extra cash just so that he could provide these for me. And the one thing that I changed was this bolt over here. I used a self-locking nut because, yeah, the original one would just probably slip off over time, and I didn't want to lose that halfway or midway through a game if I'm using this. Now, I honestly think it's really cool. It's very comfortable. You got all these grips, all these grooves over here to improve your grip. You've got this nice marking over here, and on this side as well, custom 3D Nerf. You've got the same marking over here on the back of the stock. You know, very sturdy, very cool looking kit, and I actually requested for it in this color. You guys can explore having the barrel to be black and the grip to be red, but the one thing that he insists on and will not change is the orange tip, and I think that's really great, because especially gun laws in the States, you guys need orange tips to, you know, to notify people that this is a toy. It's not so adamant here in Singapore. We don't really care much. It's not much of an issue, but it's always nice to know that this orange over here is for safety issues, and that's really good. I like that policy. I think it's really great. Okay, so now I'm going into things that I feel could have been improvements. I think there could be a better way to attach a stock. I know that there's limitations because of the way the body is, but you know, like you have these kind of grooves and everything. Maybe you could make use of those instead. I don't know, like, okay, the ending over here, the reason why it's so rough is because it's where all the support filament has to be printed on, and that's why after removing it, it becomes very, very rough. Maybe he could go a step further and use some kind of a finishing, like I think it's called XTC 3D or something like that, where you can actually just paint it on and it kind of melts everything down, smoothens it out. I don't know, but a quick fix for anyone would be to just put some padding over here. I think that will work perfectly fine. So put some padding, make it more comfortable for your shoulder, because if you don't smoothen it out, I smoothen it out with some sandpaper. If you don't, the rough edges might, you know, nick and scuff up your t-shirt, and some people don't like that. So yeah, especially if you're wearing dry fit tees, it might actually pull the threads out, and that sucks. But that's my opinion on this. Over here, I think the overall opinion is, okay, it's fastened here with one nut. I think it's sturdy enough because, you know, you're not really pulling down or up on anything, and also it's grabbing onto the blast over here and here. But this pump grip itself feels pretty hefty. It's kind of heavier than most stock attachments that I've ever handled. So maybe, you know, an improvement, I don't know, like make it shorter a bit, or like less infill or something. I don't know the reasoning behind it, but yeah, maybe he could also do away with this metal bar over here and use some kind of a locking mechanism in between these two parts to make everything a bit more sturdy instead. I don't know. The next thing I don't like is that these screw threads are actually sticking out over here. So there has to be a better way, or there should be a better way to have this bar installed onto the grip itself or the pump itself, because these are kind of scary. I know it's exposed over here, shouldn't get in the way, but exposed screw threads are still exposed screw threads, and they, you know, pose a kind of a safety hazard, I guess. Like, just in case something gets snagged on, it's not going to be a nice sight. Not going to be a pretty sight. So that's my opinion on this kit. I will put links in the description below for everything, because this is sold separately. This is sold in two versions, one without the hardware and one with the hardware. If you are able to source the hardware for yourself, go ahead and get the one without the hardware. But if you're lazy like me, or if it's not easy for you to get the hardware, then go ahead and get the one with the hardware like this. I think you just have to top up another $10, if I'm not wrong, just US 10 for custom colors. So yeah, big ups to Avery, aka Custom 3D Nerf, for this kit. I paid for this, but he gave me this, so really thank you. This really makes a lot of sense now. Now this kit really makes the Apollo complete, I would say. Really complete. As you guys can see, it looks badass, it's awesome, it fits very well. Those of you on my Instagram actually saw when I posted this picture, and a lot of you were commenting that the colors look really beautiful. Now you guys can see under bright light that it's a very slight different shade of red, but it's something that, you know, can't be helped, because it's very difficult for you to find the perfect same exact shade of a color when it comes to 3D printed filament. So if you guys don't want that, just get in a different color like black. You know, you can never go wrong with black, and that's my opinion. It's a bit pricey, honestly, but it really makes sense, and if you're a lover of the Apollo, go ahead and get it. I did not regret this purchase. I know that I got this for free, but I did not regret this purchase. I think it's really cool. So, good job. I've come to the end of the video. So once again, everyone, thanks for sticking all the way throughout, and I hope that this gave you some insight into a wonderful kit that I received and I bought. I really think it's a really good kit. I like these kind of innovations, especially now, you know, I've mentioned before, with all this 3D printing technology and all these crazy designs coming out. I really love all this new products, accessories to improve our Nerf gameplay and improve the Nerf game in general. I think it's really good. So I hope a lot more people will come up with more crazy products, and I cannot wait to see what else Avery has up his sleeve for the next, you know, batch of release of designs that he has. If you guys like this video, I hope you guys give me a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed, I hope you guys consider subscribing to my channel. I make Nerf videos weekly, but for the last couple of weeks I've been stuck in camp, so that is why I've taken quite some time to actually upload and do up this video. I'm sorry, Avery, I took a bit longer. I hope you forgive me, and my hair is gone because I went back into camp. Yeah, so I will be done at the end of this week, so hopefully then I can get my gears rolling again and get more videos for you guys out on a regular basis, on a more regular basis, I should say. I've got quite a few more product reviews, and I have one really awesome mod that I really want to share with you guys. It's a mod kit, but it requires mod skills, so kind of like a mod support kit, I should say. So I really want to share that with you guys. I'm actually looking at it right now. I'm going, wow, this thing's really amazing. I'm not going to share with you guys anything yet. No spoilers, no sneak peeks whatsoever. Just stay tuned for that. Alright, so till the next episode, guys, thanks for everything. Jules pay the bills and teamwork makes the dream work. Peace.